Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers podcast. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We obviously had a little bit of a break. Christmas is madness, you know yourself. Loads going on, so we haven't had time to do a show. But this is the end of year podcast, the last one of 2017. Just me and Luke, unfortunately. Lee couldn't join us. Devastated. I don't know what he's up to. But
he's in the country as well.
He's in the country.
Yeah.
He had more important things to do, apparently. But so yeah, this is it. This is the last show of 2017. Let's get straight into it, mate. How we doing?
Yeah, great, mate. Great Christmas. Not looking forward to going back to work, but let's start. Instead of starting with how we usually start with a game before, we will mention Bournemouth game. But let's start with this year in general, mate. It's been a hard year to be a West Ham fan this year, and probably right the way back to, you know, when we went to the London Stadium, we could take that whole sort of year and a half. It's been hard. It's been a hard year this year. You know, I've put in a question for me and you at the end, which, you know, we get to pick. I'll give you it now so you can think about it. I want your highlight of 2017 and your low point of 2017. I think it's easier to pick your low points potentially. Well, Sam, there's so many. How do you pick one?
Yeah.
But it's been a tough year, hasn't it, mate, this year? Tough year to be a West Ham fan.
Ups and downs, mate. It has been a tough year. I mean, where do you start? Do you go back to the start of the season? You know, the end of last season. You know, we were.
Right.
Huh?
I was saying, like, it started off, mate. If we're just talking 2017, January, Dimitri Payet left. Straight away, the start of the year. Do you know what I mean? How it was going to go.
It was a funny one though, because obviously Payet left, but he left under a cloud, really, in the end. And I feel like that because whether it was engineered or whatever, but because Payet left on bad terms, that kind of pulled the support together. And I think it pulled the team.
We did have a bounce a bit.
Exactly, I think it pulled the team together as well, and there was a bounce. It didn't last, sadly, but the start of the year, things were looking okay. Obviously, Payet left, but then things were looking up. We were like, no, we can do fine without him. We don't need him. But like I say, unfortunately, it didn't last.
And it's sort of carried on through till now, really, isn't it? It's like we've had, you know, if we're looking at highs and lows, mate. Obviously, your highs, you've got Andy Carroll's bicycle kick in there. You've got the Tottenham wins, which I keep saying Tottenham wins because it gives them like credit like it is our cup final. But it was a great day. Both of them were a great day. The one at Wembley and the one at London Stadium. But too many lows for me. Fantastic initial summer transfer window. The initial few weeks of it were amazing. And Anatovich in, Hernandez, Hart, Zabaleta. You're thinking, do you know what? We're going to do something this year. And then it all just went. And as Nicky said on West Ham Fan TV post-match pint this week, we just started selling players then. And then no one come back in.
That's it, yeah. We cleared out pretty much all the wingers at the club. Got rid of all the width, apparently so we could bring in Carvalho. And then it didn't happen. And then there was obviously that public war of words between Sullivan and their chairman. It was real messy. And that really, again, was the start of just a big dip. I was saying at the end of last season, I thought at the end of last season it was time for Slav to go. We were saying a lot at the time, now we have to back him or sack him. Neither happened. And, you know, we just kind of limped into the new season. And like you say, mate, nothing really changed. We sort of stagnated.
And obviously, Slav did go. Just to summing up the year very, very quickly. Yeah, Slav did go. Moyes come in. Wasn't everyone's first choice. But if I'm going to end it on a positive as a sum up of this year, mate, there's definitely improvements in certain aspects.
100%.
And a lot of West Ham fan channels have said it, and I'm sure we'll both agree that, mate, it's not David Moyes' squad yet. So, you know, you've got to give the guy the transfer window to see what happens then, haven't you? Like, he's done a lot with a squad that is not his own and has got a lot of poisonous apples and a lot of lack of fitness, really.
Yeah.
And there's a lack of desire. Desire is a massive word floating around West Ham channels at the moment.
No, I think he's done really well. I really do. I think he's done well. You know, we've had a couple of big results. We've had a couple of disappointing results. We've looked
still question marks over not playing a striker for me.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, we've looked better against the top teams than against the teams around us. And there's still work to be done. Obviously, we look better when we're basically sitting back than we do when we have to go and take a game to a team. But there's massive improvements. There really are. You know, players like Masuaku and Arnautovic, they look like completely different players. You know, we look fitter. We don't look gassed at 60 minutes every game. Players are actually chasing down.
He's got the balls to drop as well.
Exactly, yeah. And I have to say I'm pleased with how he's done. Like I say, there's still work to do. We've got a long way to go, but I'm pleased with what he's done so far. I'm pleased.
Yeah. So if you could sum up, mate, we are at sort of the halfway point of the season now. What do you want?
Well,
stay up now, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because after the weekend, you know, we should be sitting in 13th right now.
Yeah. How many games have we... I know we're going to go into the game in a minute, mate, but like, how many games have we thrown away them points in that last 89th, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5th minute? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Crystal Palace sticks out, Bournemouth, City we lost in about the last minute, didn't we?
It was close to the end. It was about 5 minutes from the end, yeah.
They're trouncing teams for fun, but I'm just saying how many times have we conceded in that last crucial minutes?
Mm. Yeah, no, I know, mate. It is an issue, and you think, is it down to concentration? I mean, when you're in injury time and you're winning, you can't be throwing the game away at that stage. You can't. You just can't.
Missing penalties as well. Mm. Oh, we've missed two crucial ones as well in the build up. But yeah, that's a mini sum up of 2017, guys. I'm sure we've missed loads because I just wanted to do it really, really quick. But yeah, Bournemouth, mate. So we did play Bournemouth. Great game for the neutral, as they say, mate. 3-3, controversial last-minute goal. Possibly 2 red card scenarios for Bournemouth. There was an elbow by Josh King, and then there was the boot to the face. Arnautovic, fantastic again for us. And Masuaku, like you say, mate. But what do you make of the game? What did you make of it?
Yeah, we weren't great. You know, we weren't great, but then we showed good determination to get back into the game. Yes, the goal was a big mistake. Arnautovic's goal was a big mistake, but he made it happen.
He had to finish it.
He had to finish it, and he made it happen by closing down. He closed down and he made it happen. Good work rate. And then, you know, we basically nicked it. Everyone would have thought we'd nicked it. Really good goal, actually, to go through 3-2. It was a really well-worked goal, really good goal. I think Hernandez was gutted not to score himself. He probably should have done.
What do you make of that? The pictures of him not celebrating?
I don't make too much of it, mate, because I don't know. Yeah, pictures can be deceiving. Yeah. I did notice it, funny enough, actually, watching when that goal went in. I did look at Hernandez, and he turned away. And I think, to be honest, he was gutted he didn't score himself. I think that was his first thing. But then he did start clapping the crowd and that, and he did start celebrating after that. But I think initially it was just that disappointment that he hadn't scored himself. Obviously, he's on a bit of a poor run at the minute, and he hasn't been starting games. So honestly, I think that's all it was. But then, yeah, you know, you could say.
Right. Sorry, mate. I know you're summing up there, but I was just going to say, again, a great performance from Ginge as well. Let's not take that away as well. I know we conceded 3 goals, but a great goal from Ginge, and just he's another one. Desire, mate. He wants to win.
Yeah,
he wants to win.
Came in.
He wants to actually play.
He was captain as well when he came in, took the armband, and yeah, he was brilliant. Quite brave to drop Reed.
Yeah, what do you make of the potential red card? Was it a red card for you?
Well, there's 2 obviously. The first one, the arm, I don't think that was a red card. He weren't throwing his arm at the player. It
was like he was having a little shock.
Yeah, he was just like, oh, he had no idea he was there. To me, that I don't think that was a red card. I think if that was one of ours and they've got sent off for it, I'd be gutted. I don't think that was a red card.
Yeah.
The second one on Kouyaté is a red card all day long. I don't understand how anyone can argue against it. I don't understand. Kouyaté's 6'3". He got kicked in the face.
And he wasn't really putting his head down, was he? He wasn't putting
Even
his
if
head
he
down.
was putting his head down, look at the height. There's no way that wasn't a red card. Absolutely no way. And Moyes called it at the end of the game. It's like, in any other game, in any other league in the world, that's a red card. That's a red card. The ref was absolutely shocking. Absolutely ridiculously bad. So, I mean, they should have been down to 10 men. Without a doubt, they should have been down to 10 men.
And then their winning goal, mate. Handball, offside.
Everyone's already said it, mate. Everyone's already said it. I've never seen anything like that before. Never. Have you ever seen a referee go and overrule a linesman for an offside goal?
Very rare.
I
can't remember one. I probably have seen it, but
I just can't. Like, the linesman is in the perfect position, looking across the line. He's seen it, and then the ref is outside the box. He's miles away. How can he possibly say he had a better view than his linesman and overrule it? I can't understand it. I just can't.
And even if the lino has lined for offside and the ref's gone, no, I don't think it was offside. Did the lino not see the handball?
Well, this is the thing. Like, there's a lot of talk about...
There's two, isn't there?
Yeah, what was he flagging for? Was he flagging for the handball? Was he flagging for the offside? If he was flagging for offside, there's literally no way the ref can say one offside. It would be impossible for the referee to see that. So that's not what it is. The only thing it could possibly be is he's flagged for handball and the ref thinks he didn't touch it. But again, how can he... Like, you have to be sure. If you're going to overrule your assistant's decision, you have to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
And he got it wrong. It's just... someone else said that I read, like, he went out of his way to get it wrong. You know, 9 times out of 10, more than 9 times out of 10, you know, if you could say 99% of the time, the ball goes in the back of the net, linesman puts his flag up, it's a free kick, you get on with it. And it weren't until the players got in his face and he was saying, no, I didn't touch it. He went over and it looked like he convinced the linesman that he was wrong.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
And it's just... I can't believe it. I cannot.
It would have been. It would have been better off just going. Yep, decision with the lino.
Yeah.
Don't worry. If he was right, if he was 100%, he must have been 100% certain in his mind that he's right. And if he wasn't, then he shouldn't have given it.
Exactly. There's no way that he could have been. There's no way he could have been 100% sure. And it's just absolutely insane. And all the ex-referees have come out and said he got it wrong. He won't want to see that again. It was embarrassing. Pundits have come out, apart from Match of the Day, which is an absolute disgrace. I don't know if you watch Match of the Day after it.
No,
they completely... It was a joke, mate. They completely glossed over it. They basically laughed about it and was like, ha, 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 ha. Because afterwards, obviously, Wilson done the interview and basically admitted that he handballed it in. Basically admitted it. They said, I tried to get a touch on it. And he was like, a touch of what? He's like, a touch of magic. Ha, ha, ha. Back to Gary Lineker and all them mugs. Brilliant.
Would you make that then? Because I think someone did put on Twitter about, obviously the new rule of the season is, you know, misleading the officials. Should he be done then?
Of course he should.
Misleading?
Of course he should. He won't be. He won't be.
No.
But he should be. You know, he's basically cheated the ref. It's, you know, misleading the referee, bringing the game into disrepute. Like, there's a few things he could be done for there. But nothing will happen because nothing ever is when it's West Ham and we're on the wrong side of things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe, like I say, I want to vent about Match of the Day because it was just a joke. The coverage was a joke. They actually said Kouyaté's, oh no, it wasn't a red card. It was probably just a yellow. What?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And then they basically said, oh well, it looked like he was probably offside and it looked like it did go in off his arm. But, you know, they probably deserve to go anyway. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. It doesn't matter. I was, again, on Knees Up Mother Brown, I was reading the forums and people were saying it doesn't matter if we were bad. It doesn't matter if they deserved a goal. It doesn't matter. That's like, games are not won on a point system. You don't get points for possession. You don't get points for fancy passes or shots on target. It's goals.
How many goals go in the net?
Exactly. And that should not have stood. That should not have been a goal. They did not. It just winds me up. It's unbelievable. We need video technology in the Premier League. We need it.
Yeah, that is a question for later, so we'll talk about that later. But but let's look at us then, mate. So obviously Bournemouth got their luck. There's just the negatives for us now, because obviously we've picked up the positives. For me, mate, I'll let you have your point afterwards. For me, Shekiati needs to be dropped. Ayew needs to be dropped. It's just so poor. And a striker needs to start. And if he doesn't feel any of those strikers on the bench can start, he's got to go and buy one in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I agree 100%, mate. Definitely on Kouyaté. He's been poor. He doesn't track back. He doesn't seem to make tackles. I don't like... He's not been playing well for a while. To be honest, if we sold him, I wouldn't be disappointed in January. When the team came out and when he dropped Antonio, who deserved dropping, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Surely that was an opportunity to put Arnautovic in Antonio's position and play Hernandez up front. That would have been the natural response to me. Instead, he brought in Ayew. And I think he got that wrong. Like you say, mate, he needs to. We've got Hernandez sitting there. He needs to be playing. He needs to be playing. Like you say, mate, if you don't think he's good enough, then he needs to bring someone in. We can't keep going with no recognised striker on the pitch. Yeah, Arnautovic is doing well and he's scoring goals, but you can tell that's not his natural position.
He's more of again, I don't like to make this comparison because it's a little bit too early in his career. But there is a Paolo vibe about him. There is. I honestly do feel a Paolo vibe with him. Like, he's got that sort of cocky arrogance. He's a hothead. But Paolo was never a goal machine. Paolo was that little bit of magic, and then he'll score a magical goal. I don't know what you make of that, but maybe that's a bit of a too early comparison. Obviously, Paolo's my hero, but...
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think he's better when he's facing goal rather than playing with his back to goal as a lone striker. He needs to be picking the ball up. Huh?
He's a West Ham player that we love.
Oh, yeah.
When them sort of guys come and they play well, like, we just love them sort of players.
He's a maverick.
Yeah. Moving on then, mate. I'm not going to talk... We'll preview the other games later, but let's talk about January. Loads of rumours floating around, as there always is with us. We'll start with the ins and we'll start with the news that's come out today in Reece Oxford. Obviously, yesterday it was always going RB Les Pig, and he's going this place. Now he's come back, and he has been pictured in training. He's back, and David Moyes in his press conference said he wants to have a look at him, and he may well give him a chance.
I hope he does. Although, I mean, was it Leipzig come in and it would have been something like 18 million if he does well, 9 million initially, something like that. Decent money for Oxford, who, let's be honest, hasn't really done much for 2 years. Let's be honest about it.
No.
But no, I would love to see him get a chance. I really would. Yeah, I'd love to see him get a chance.
Him and Rice together, give him a chance at some point.
Yeah, you know.
But if it was up to me, sorry mate to keep interrupting you, but like with Oxford, put him in the Shrewsbury game. Shrewsbury Cup game in a couple of weeks, put him in.
Yeah.
Shrewsbury doing well, to be fair, though. They're blitzing their league, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, hopefully he comes in, hopefully he does well, because there is obviously a player there. There's a lot of potential there. So, no, 100%, I hope he does come in, and I hope he plays him and gives him a chance. If we do sell him and we end up getting 10, 15 million for him, that's a decent return for like someone who, like I say, hasn't really done much in the last 2 years. So yeah, I did see a really good post from one of the mods on These Up Mother Brown, and I can't remember all of the names now, but it was basically a list of players that could be on their way, and it's pretty much the usual suspects, to be honest.
Your mate Sacco, it looks like it will definitely happen now, doesn't it?
What's that, sorry?
I was like, before you start listing, obviously it looks like your mate Sacco, he's going to go.
Well, that was the first name on the list, was basically Sacco. He's gone in January.
And good riddance now, you know. He had his chance. When Moyes come in, the geezer had his chance to sort of redeem himself and be like, do you know what? New manager, let's go and play, see what we can do. And he's obviously poisonous.
He don't want to be at West Ham anymore. That's it. He just don't want to be at West Ham. So get rid of him. Carroll apparently is being shipped around. Whether anyone will want to take him or not is a different matter. Hart.
There's a few rumours with Ayew and Hart, isn't there?
Yeah, Hart apparently could go. It'd be interesting to see who does leave. But I mean, of any of those players listed, I wouldn't be sad to see any of them leave. It's a shame Joe Hart didn't work out, but it hasn't worked out.
No, it hasn't. And what is it for Joe Hart now? Where is his career now? It's in tatters really now,
really
isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. To be honest, that's probably it for him. He'd probably end up going to another sort of mid to low table.
I think he'll just float around now. You know, like a bit like Rob Green, really. But in my opinion, now Rob Green was a better goalkeeper than him. Like obviously Joe was fantastic, but I don't know. Maybe he's lost his desire. You know, won all the cups and stuff that he can possibly win.
Yeah,
lost his desire. England #1, no real competition for a few years, and now it's all come, and he's not at that level anymore.
Antonio, I think as well. Actually, was I mentioned before is apparently rumours that Antonio wants out. He's the quote that I saw was he's been very vocal about it in the changing room in the club. He wants to go, and if that is true, get rid of him. He's been poor this season. I think since he got called up for England, I think he thinks he's bigger than the club. Yeah. I think he thinks he's far better than he actually is. You've had he's been doing all these little videos on social media and stuff, and I think he thinks he's a bit of a celebrity now as well. When he first started at West Ham, I thought he come across as quite a nice guy, quite down to earth.
Modest.
Yeah, he seems to be getting a little bit of that sort of rude boy attitude about him now. And I don't like it. He strolls around the pitch now. He doesn't really seem to have them busting runs anymore. He hasn't got the desire anymore. He hasn't. No, and technically, he's never been good. He's never been great technically.
No. We can't kid ourselves. He is not technically. He's appalling. Yeah. But you know what he did have was raw pace, power, and he's great header as well. He's got a great header on him. But yeah, like you say, mate, he don't seem to be making them busting runs no more. It's like he's scared to pop that hamstring or whatever. I don't know.
But I think that's it. I think the desire's gone, and I think that was carrying him before. Because like I say, technically he weren't good. And it was that desire and that strength and the pace that was carrying him. And now he's lost that. He offers nothing for me.
Yeah. Like I say, for me, personally, apart from Lanzini and Arnautovic, Adrian maybe now as well, I wouldn't be too upset for anyone to leave. I know, obviously, you can't sell everyone. But, I don't know, there ain't many that I would be upset to see him leave. I'd definitely keep Ginge. I'd give Ginge another contract for next year as well. I think it's just good to have that sort of geezer around. I know he's pushing 35, losing a bit of pace now, but I don't know. He is good role model for your young pups like Reece, Declan, and all them. You know, he's definitely one I'd be keeping around. Yeah.
So, what about the Inns?
Inns, mate. Obviously, massive rumour today. I watched Jay's video and I watched a bit of X podcast. Schürrle, mate, what a signing that would be. That would be an unbelievable signing, but I can't see it.
See, the thing is two things. First of all, I can see it because apparently he's available on loan. And you know we love a loan. So that's the only thing that makes me think there's something possibly in it. But he's a left-sided midfielder. Do we need another left-sided midfielder? Really? Genuinely? We've got enough of them. We need someone to play on the right.
Yeah, to be fair, then we're a bit. Yeah. He is a good player, though.
He is a good player, but he's never really as well. He's never really settled anywhere. I don't think he's never really sort of settled somewhere.
I know quite a lot of Chelsea fans though that were absolutely gutted when he left. They were gutted when he left because he has got a good goal record. I think he sort of regularly used to it. About 10 to 12 a season.
He's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic player. He's a player I'd love to see at West Ham, but I don't know. I don't think he's a player we need. I really don't. And I've seen a few people mention this. It seems to be kind of like the Joe Hart situation. We didn't need another goalkeeper, but a big name became available on loan, so we got him anyway. And that kind of feels like the same thing to me. I don't think he's a player that we need. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
For me,
I don't really see where he fits into the team. But he's a name that's on loan, so Sullivan will probably sign him anyway.
What we need is a passing midfielder for me. Passing midfielder and a striker. And you can all say, oh yeah, we've got Carroll, Hernandez, Sacco on the bench. But if Sacco goes, we obviously need to replace Sacco. But passing midfielder for me, like there's too much pressure on Lanzini to keep that ball ticking.
Yeah.
Like he is a fantastic player, Lanzini, but you see it all the time. He looks up, nothing to do, and then he'll turn around and then maybe lose the ball, or he'll have to ping it to the left, the fullbacks, because there's no one there. There's no one bombing. Obviously, Nzonzi's linked. Fantastic player, but that ain't happening. Love to see it, but ain't happening.
No, that's not going to happen. He's an incredible player. He would be unbelievable to come in, but no, it's not going to happen. He's too much money. They won't pay it, and I don't think he'd come to West Ham anyway. For me, we need two midfielders. We need someone who can step in for Lanzini when he's out, because we've got no one really that can do that, and we need a solid defensive midfielder who can pick out a pass.
We need someone doggy as well. We haven't got a dog in there. You know, like West Ham Fan TV said it. Look, Kante's, there ain't players on Kante's level, but you know, someone who's just boom, players first touch, boom, in. Not all this backing off. They need to be like hungry in that midfield, running. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, but that's what we need. We need an absolute dog in that midfield that can run.
I'd love us to see, I've been saying this for the last sort of 3 windows, I think, maybe more than that, but I'd love to see us sign Fellaini.
Yeah, that'd be a good start. He's linked with PSG though. I was looking at Sky Bet odds actually, because Sturridge were actually favourites to sign Sturridge again as well at 3-1. I'd take him. I know he's injury prone, but he's again, I don't know. He's another arrogant one, though, isn't he? He's very arrogant. I know Lee doesn't like him. Don't think Jack Wilshere will happen now, sadly.
Started playing for Arsenal again.
Yeah, he's playing, and he seems to be like one of the main men in that team now again, which is a shame. But is that our fault for not sniffing around in the summer and just getting it done? We missed a big opportunity to get a player in. There was another one. Alfie Mawson, Swansea, centre-back. Young, English.
Decent enough on the sound of things, but then weren't they saying it cost something stupid like 30 million?
25, I think.
25 million.
25. That's going rate, England defender.
Yeah, but he's playing for Swansea. Swansea are not exactly like solid at the back, are they?
But it's also like if you sell him, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it? I can't say.
He's good. He is good. He's good. I've seen. He was good against. He's been good against us as well. Like he's a strong header of the ball and stuff. And I think he's one of them, footballing defenders as well. Like it seems like every team has to have one now. Modern day defender can play football.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Other people will have a better opinion of him than me, because I can't say I've particularly gone out of my way to watch him. But just the fact that he's playing in a team that's struggling, conceding goals, not keeping clean sheets, he's coming in with that loser's mentality. I don't really like that, to be honest. And 25 million is a crazy amount of money for West Ham to spend on a centre-half.
Well, there's saying that there's rumours of Tompkins going to Everton for 20 million. Tompkins. Yeah. I like Tompkins. I'd have Tonks back. Again, he's another passionate, and he will play for the shirt. Yeah, I don't know. I still think personally as well, mate. If we're talking of ins, it won't happen this transfer window. Maybe in the summer we'll have another look at it. But a right back for me as well. I think I like Zabaleta. I like his work rate. I like his work ethic. But he seems to be the man everyone's targeting now.
Yeah,
pace. See, the last couple of games we're playing. Sorry, mate, keep interrupting you. Newcastle and the Bournemouth game. They just played 3 pacemen, didn't they? Across Atsu for Newcastle was bombing him. Callum Wilson was bombing him in the Bournemouth game. It just seems that's how you get at West Ham now. Put someone pace on that wing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%, mate. He's too easily beat for pace, and he hasn't got the legs to recover. No, I agree. I do like Zabs a lot. He's fantastic when we're playing in games where we're defending and he's not getting caught up the pitch. But yeah, when we're trying to play and we're getting countered and he's getting caught upfield, that's obviously a big issue. So yeah, I agree with that. Byram, I think, is injured he's been injured for ages now, long term.
It looks like Fernandez is out for the season as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to see a right back come in. I mean, to be honest, mate, there's holes to plug all over the pitch. There really are.
Yeah, there is.
All over the pitch. I'd say the only position we're all right in is that left side, because obviously Cresswell, Masuaku, Arnautovic, Ayew, that left side of the pitch, I think we're all right. It's the rest of it is there's loads of.
I like the goalkeeper. I like Adrian, but yeah, there's again, it's a fouling of 2 transfer windows. Like you say, mate, it's a good point you make there. With there was a name available. We went and got him, Hart, Zabaleta, but did we need them? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that sort of brings an end to the transfers, mate. I'm sure we'll be constantly updating, mate, and maybe you might, we'll be giving updates when transfers come in over January. Next game for us, mate, we don't actually play till Tuesday, but we've got loads of games. We've got Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, West Brom, Spurs and Shrewsbury. Important. The West Brom game is massive now. The Bournemouth game was massive. But West Brom were in 19th, mate. Obviously, Pardew in charge of them.
No win yet.
No wins yet. They've not won since beating Bournemouth in the Premier League. Yes, they have. They did have a couple of wins in the League Cup, but they've not won since the second game of the season in the league. Loads of draws, but yeah, 10-1 West Brom win now.
100%, mate. Put your ass on it. Put your ass on it. Pardew without a win, 100%. Rock up to West Ham. We'll sort him out. No problem.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Realistically, it's a game that we have to win. It's a game that we have to win. I've got no confidence in us winning that game because that's just West Ham all over. That type of scenario. Team hasn't won for ages. Players haven't scored for ages.
Newcastle 3-0. 3-0 win now. They won in 13. 3-1, weren't it? 3-1, sorry, because I did score, didn't he?
It was, that was a joke. like you say, haven't won in ages. Just
tucked us in.
if you need a game where you haven't won for ages, if you've got a player that hasn't scored for ages, come and play West Ham. We'll sort you out. We're the most giving club in the world, mate. It's madness. So yeah, it's a game that we absolutely must win. It's a game we absolutely should win. It's a game we need to win.
They're playing on Sunday as well. I was just looking at their fixtures. They're playing on Sunday, so we've got a long rest. We played Boxing Day, our last game. So yeah, and it's Arsenal they're playing on Sunday. Just looking at their fixtures, so we've got to take this game. We have to. It's massive. It's a massive game. Like I say, they're sitting in 19th. Yeah. So if we don't win, mate, it's a bit like the Bournemouth game and the Newcastle game. If we would have won those games, or even turned up and got a draw against Newcastle, or maybe a win against Bournemouth, we would have been right up there thinking, we can touch European places. We're not going to get there, and again, it's the player you can attract now in January. At the moment, sitting where we are, players are thinking, do I really fancy it? Do I fancy having to turn up and fight?
Yeah.
For 5 to 6 months. I know they're the sort of players you want. Whatever you want, fighters. But yeah, if we were sitting 13th, maybe even 10th, if results would have gone our way,
that's it.
You would have been getting a better calibre of player.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And like you say, if we had got that win, then we'd be looking up rather than down, and that makes a massive difference to everything, to confidence and all the rest of it. But yes, it is. It's a huge game. Huge game. We need the points. We need to win.
Then after that, obviously Spurs. That's a write-off. I think Harry Kane. I had a look, mate. I think he needs 4 goals for 100 Premier League goals. Just putting it out there. The geezer scored 2 hat-tricks in a row. You watch him banging 4 and get his 100th goal against West Ham.
Well, we'll see. I reckon we'll win.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. We'll turn up, as we always bloody do.
See, that's the thing. Not only is it against Tottenham, but like I say, we've been doing really well. We've done really well against City, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Mate, you could have put your house on it, though. The Newcastle game, you could have put your house on it for us not to turn up. Because it's just always the way. How can you go from being so solid against high class opposition to boom, nothing. Even a Stoke game, the Stoke game which we won 3-0, fantastic performance. Then just boom, flat.
I know, mate. Maybe it's complacency. I don't know. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, we're good enough now. Now we don't have to worry about it. I don't know.
Yeah, so some big games coming up, mate. What I would like to see, it won't happen because it's typical West Ham, is I'd like to see a transfer done and ready to play for the Spurs game, but it won't happen.
Do we ever get transfers done early?
No.
Yeah, same. I would love to. I'd love to see it. I'd love him to have a few transfers lined up and to surprise us and say, yeah, look, ready to go. But I doubt it. To be honest, we'll probably just do the same thing we always do. Nothing will happen until the end of the window, and then we'll sign a couple of loans. Hopefully, I'm wrong.
Some South American. Let's move on to the questions. Few built up over the last few weeks because we was meant to do a show, then we didn't do one, then we've cancelled 2 recently, so there's a few questions building up. Claret Blue EastEnders says, your opinion, who needs to go in January? I think Sakho, Kouyaté and Carroll is a must for me. We've sort of touched on it already for you, mate, but yeah, I agree. Definitely Sakho, Kouyaté and Carroll. I wouldn't be upset if any of those left in the next month.
No, 100%. Sakho and Carroll, definitely. Kouyaté, definitely. All players would need to replace if we did let them go. But yeah, same, mate. I wouldn't be... Well, Carroll and Sakho, I'd be happy to see leave. Kouyaté, I wouldn't miss. So, yeah.
I wouldn't mind Ayew going either, I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind.
If we got decent money for him, then...
Yeah. SB says, what is the minimum you would take for Sakho right now? I would take a pack of gums. Sounds about right. I think if you can get about 10 to 12 for him, goodbye.
I don't think we'll get that. I think we'll get
8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10 is something we'll probably get. He's in the last year of his contract, so he's not going to be worth much anyway. 6 months left to go on his contract. To be honest, we might end up just writing him off. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we just wrote his contract off.
Just get rid of him, yeah. D. Trev says, don't you think Carroll and Hart should go in January? England's number 1 ain't fit enough to be West Ham's number 2. Great show, guys.
Well, I don't know about not fit enough to be West Ham's number 2. That's a bit harsh. But yeah, no, I'd be more than happy to have Joe Hart as a number 2. Unbelievable. It'd be a fantastic number 2, but he's obviously not going to be happy with that.
No.
So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever to see Hart leave.
Mark Collinson, no one cares about the League Cup as it is, but banning beer at the stadium is hardly going to increase interest or attendance. What are your thoughts on that, gentlemen? So that's a question that's built up from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that question at the time, and I saw a couple of people talking about that, but I didn't ever see a reason behind it. Do you know?
No.
No. It's a strange one. I don't know. Was it the club? Was it the ground? Was it a decision from the cup organisers? Was it a decision from the sponsors? Whose decision was it? I don't know. I didn't really see any reasonings why. But yeah, no, it is obviously poor. You know, people want to go to the football and have a drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's poor. I don't know. Like I say, I can't really.
I don't see the point of it.
Yeah, I can't really say too much about it because I don't know why it happened. Let us know. No. Let us know. I don't send us some links or something because I like I say I'm not sure what the story behind that was.
Another one, he says, on our last game of the season, wouldn't it be cool if everyone turned up in retro shirts and hats just for a laugh? Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah. Why not?
Jack, which 3 players would you want to have join, but only till the end of the season?
Interesting.
Schürrle, I'd take.
Only to the end of the season, though.
End of the season. Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne, Jesus.
No, that's an interesting question. So 3 short-term players to turn us around. I think that's an interesting question. I'm struggling to think of any off the top of my head. Someone who I don't know, similar situations to where we were talking last season about Defoe coming in, I suppose. People like that, where you'd be happy for him to come in and do a job, but not necessarily on a long-term contract.
I really like Matt Ritchie from Newcastle, actually. I think he's a fantastic player, right winger. Really, really good player. But whether Newcastle would sell him or not. But it reminds me a bit of what Snodgrass was like at Hull. Like, fantastic for them. Would he do it at West Ham? I don't know. Very good player though, Matt Ritchie. Jamie Gill, what positions do we need to improve most in January, and who would you bring in those positions? Well, we've sort of touched on it a little bit. We could improve everywhere, really, everywhere. A right back, passing midfielder, like Paul said, a doggy midfielder who can actually spray the ball a little bit, a striker. And when you start putting names on me, I don't know. Like, because there are names out there. Onzonzi would be a fantastic signing. William Carvalho, fantastic signing. You bought them two players for 50, 60 mil. West Ham all of a sudden turn into this amazing football team, potentially.
100%, mate. I really agree with that. Really agree with that. I think that is our biggest need in the window, is the midfield, because at the minute our midfield is non-existent. We just get walked through. And mate, I'll tell you what, you're exactly right. If, like you say, if we went out and banged 50, it probably cost 55, 60 million on those two players, we would be a completely different team. But it will never happen. They won't do it. They won't do it. Can you imagine if they did?
If they wanted to build any trust back with us, that, yeah, these guys are there for the long run, they're not going to sell the club, boom, 60 mil, get them two in. And it's not a lot of money nowadays. 60 million for players of that quality, two quality players, is not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money at all.
No. that would be something to see. I'm going to go on Football Manager later and put them in West Ham and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to go and do a FIFA in a minute. Question from Facebook. Again, this is one of the ones built up from a few weeks back, sorry. So Lanzini got a 2-match ban. What's your thoughts on video technology? Living in Thailand, I get to watch a few Aussie games where they have video playback and it seems okay, but some of the refs are terrible. Sorry for the long question. Merry Christmas, guys. Hope you have a good New Year.
Cheers, mate. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Yeah, said earlier, we absolutely need...
He did dive.
Video refs.
Landed.
Yeah, he did dive. He did dive. You know, he did. There's no two ways about it. The frustrating thing is, if he had stayed on his feet, he probably would have got taken out anyway, and he would have won the penalty still. So it's kind of frustrating. But he did dive. He did. He went down early. He was looking for it. So can't really complain. But yeah, 100%. We need video technology in the game. There's no reason not to have it anymore. You know, goal line technology come in and has worked really, really well. Everything about, it will slow the game down and this, that and the other, it won't, because any contentious decisions, the players spend so much time moaning and arguing about it, and the time it takes. Look at us with that goal. The amount of time the players were up in the ref's face, the ref going over to his assistant, having a word with his assistant. The amount of time that took, someone could have looked at a screen and said, no, it weren't a goal. It would take...
Well, you know, mate, how long, when you watch it on the telly, like, the replay's shown instantly after the players celebrated anyway. Like, literally, rewind button on 3-4 different camera angles. You can see it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, when it's... I think the problem is when it's real, borderline, what way do you go? What so if it's real borderline,
I think it has to be the same as.
Do you give the goal?
No, I think it has to be the same as, unless you're sure, then you have to allow the benefit of the doubt, unless you're sure. But situations like that goal obviously would have been seen, boom, wouldn't have counted. Things like dives, penalty decisions, they're a little bit tougher to call. But and again, I think if you're not sure, you can't give it. You have to be sure. But the amount of decisions that it would clear up compared to maybe a couple that they might not be able to clear up or they might get wrong, it's worth it. It's worth it. There'll be far, far, far more positive aspects than there will negatives, and I just don't understand why it hasn't happened yet. Apparently, they're bringing it in for the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I'm sure it won't take long. It will eventually come, but hopefully sooner rather than later.
Sports Playlist said, what is your favourite track on a match day? So at the stadium, what is your favourite track? I used to love the Palladio by I can't remember who it's by now. It's a classical song.
I knew you was going to say that. Yeah, the old strings and that.
Yeah, great, real epic, gets you going just before the game. And I did, I love when they used to bang on Fatboy Slim as well, right here, right now, because he always used to build it up with that. Used to build it up with that, didn't he? Right here, right now. London's calling by the Clash. There used to be loads of good ones that build it up. Next one, Smokey Jones. Knowing we need more creative midfielders, do you rate Torgan Hazard? He is Eden's little brother and has been really good for Gladbach. Do you think he would have a place at West Ham?
Yeah, 100%. He's more of a winger, though, isn't he? Than can he play on the right? I think he does play on the right, doesn't he? Does he play on the right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that's definitely a position, especially if someone like Antonio goes. Yeah, I'd love to see him come in. I think he'd do well for West Ham. Yeah.
It's one of those, worth a gamble ones, isn't it? SB again. If you can put one under 23 in the squad for the rest of the season, who would it be and why? Declan not included. Also, on a scale of 1 to 10, where does Arnie rank on the scale? I think he's becoming my new favourite Hammer.
I think he's probably becoming a lot of people's new favourite.
Oh, good. We'll go Arnie first then. Yeah, Arnie's definitely my favourite at the minute. He's a joy to watch when he's on it.
Yeah, he's great to watch. I still love Lanzini.
Yeah.
But no, 100%. Arnie's up there. He's a great player. It's funny how he was being written off earlier on in the season.
Yeah. Like that performance against Brighton, or was it Brighton? Yeah, it was like, this geezer can go. Like he's if he ain't got to run and he's on that sort of money, he can go.
Yeah, no.
But now, undroppable.
100%. Yeah, I'll put him up there on a scale of 1 to 10 at the minute. I'll put him up there at this specific moment in time at an 8. That's where I'd put him right now. For me.
Under 23 coming in.
I'd really like to see...
Queener didn't impress me when he played against Arsenal.
He's very young though. He's still, what is he, 17? If that. So
if I could pick one, mate, it'd be someone who's on loan in Josh Cullen.
Yeah.
As a dog midfielder in there.
I'd like to see Cullen given a chance, yeah. I don't know, there's not... Samuelson's injured at the minute. I'd love to see him given a run just to see what he can do. I know he didn't really tear it up on loan, but it would be good to see what he can do in a West Ham shirt. I don't know, it's a difficult one.
We've got Tony Martinez as well.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. I think that's actually probably the answer there.
Yeah.
We need a striker. There you go. Tony Martinez. Why not?
Yeah. Last one. Kieran Fleet. Question for the podcast, lads. In the light of Bournemouth goal being given by the referee after overruling the linesman, do you think football referees should be mic'd up like referees in rugby? In NFL, they have to explain every decision over the stadium speakers. This could help shed light on the way certain decisions are made.
Mate, do you know what? I was literally talking about this today with a couple of people in work. Literally talking about it today. And I actually think the same thing, mate. Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the mics are reffed up. The mics are reffed up. The refs are mic'd up at the moment. But like you say, it's not. We can't hear what they're saying.
No.
And I 100%, like exactly like that decision. I would love to have heard the conversation. If that conversation was broadcast between Madley and his linesman, to hear exactly what was said, I think that would make them a lot more accountable. 100% agree, mate. 100%. I think they are all mic'd up, and I think it should be broadcast. Not necessarily explaining every single decision, but yeah, we should be able to hear what they're saying. And you get it now. Everyone, anytime anyone talks on a football pitch now, it's this. It's all this, and it's this. So no one can see what they're saying.
But that leads to suspicion as well, though, doesn't it? It just leads to suspicion. Like what is Madley saying there at that point when he's doing that? I agree with it. I would have mics all day long in football. It works really well in most sports. Yeah. Like you hear it, even like to your not so much your team sports like basketball, NFL, rugby. Like the umpires in tennis, they have to say what they say. Even in snooker, the referee goes like, "Oh, touching ball" and all that. Like, you hear their voice more than you hear a football referee. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100%, mate. 100% agree. Yeah, definitely. It's something I'd be all for. All for.
Yeah, but it seems there's too much protection of the referees. But it's so important now. Yeah, the referee's decision is final, but there needs to be some, even if they're in the press conference afterwards or whatever, there needs to be something where they've got a voice.
That's the problem. They're not accountable. You know, that is a problem. Like, Madley can make 2 horrific, completely wrong, match-changing, possibly season-changing decisions. And he don't have to answer for it. He don't have to come out and speak to the press about it. He does not have to answer for it. The worst possible thing that will happen to him is maybe he'll get dropped down to the Championship for a week. Ooh. Yeah. You know, the refs are, like you say, mate, they are so protected and they have to answer for nothing. If they get decisions wrong, they don't have to answer.
And a manager's not allowed to criticise them either. You know, as soon as the manager opens their mouth, 20 grand fine.
Yep.
But these managers, like you say, mate, this hypothetically speaking, Moyes was on a must-win game and he just draws that game because of a decision from a referee and loses his job.
Yeah.
But he's not allowed to say anything.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. I mean? It is ridiculous. It is, yeah.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts, guys, on referees, mics, video replays. You know, how you feel about this year so far. I'd bring it back to you, mate, for the last thing. Your high. Sorry, we'll start with the low of the year for you, 2017. I'm going to say, mate, you know what? Just to give you a couple more seconds, I'm going to say, do you know what, mate? Instead of Payet, for me, it's seeing Slav foul. You know? Great guy. Give us one of the best seasons we've ever had. We said it at the time. Yeah, to see him go, it did hurt a bit when he went.
Yeah, that's actually a good shout, mate. Yeah, seeing Slav foul, that was a low. Some really bad results in there. Yeah, you know, I don't know. It's difficult. Like you say earlier on, mate, there was a lot of lows. It's difficult to pick one.
Yeah. Highs.
Tottenham in the cup.
Tottenham in the cup. Tottenham in the league. Chelsea in the league 2 weeks ago was a great result. Andy Carroll's bicycle kick, great goal. But yeah, let us know your highs and lows, guys. I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas, guys. Please keep checking us out. You know, we are a bit sporadical every now and then with our videos, but you know, we do love making this podcast, guys, and we love all your questions. Have a great new year, and let's hope we get some good results and we bring you some great news of players coming in. Until then, I'm going to do it. Come on, you irons. Let's go.
Cheers.